Okay, we're up to the new parak in Berachos, Daf Yomi on the days. The previous parak we had mentioned that a chassan is pata from Kriyas Shema, in the din of Oisik men mitzvah pata men mitzvah, and we're continuing that theme, albeit by levayas, by mace. Misha Mesoi, that's mashma Mesoi, one of the people he's mechuyev to this all over. Mutal of is in front of him, he has a chiyuv to bury it. Pata is pata mikriyas Shema. Umenat tefillah, he's or pataminat tefillin, umenat tefillah. One gear says the mitzvah raisa, Kriyas Shema, and tefillin, and certainly tefillah, which is only drabanan. When we call mitzvahs, some was b'Torah, and any mitzvahs in the Torah. And why did they dafka learn Kriyas Shema and tefillin? It's because that like me boy, even these are mitzvahs that are that you're able to go ahead and do. With tefillin and Kriyas Shema, you could do. It's be able to perform it, but even ones that you're not able to perform, if in other words, you be pata. Again, these are mitzvahs that are easy to do. I guess just say Kriyas Shema in front of him, put on tefillin in front of him. We'll see reasons you don't do, put that other reasons, but physically you're able to do that. Makom is more retired. Nice to have mita. Those who are carrying the mita, they used to carry the braya, the bed, the chalufayim, and those who will go ahead and they'll pass it on to that people. The chalufah chalufayim pass on to the next. Eshlefnei Amita, the one that are in front of the Mita, Eshlach Amita, Eshlefnei Amita, that Sarach Behem Turim, those that are necessary and needed for the Pater, Eshlach Amita Sarach, and the one that Sarach Behem would be Chayovim, because they already did the mitzvah. The Elohim Peturim and Tefillah, they both bought Pata from Tefillah, they both Pata from Tefillah, Rashi says, because Tefillah is the Rabbanon, and that's why you're not going above Minat Tefillah. Once the mace is buried, now they're coming to the shura. They would encircle the avel pri menachem avel. If you're able to complete the Kriyas Shema before the mitzvah comes to you, before the avel comes to you, actually the shura yaskilu. If you can't complete it, then lo yaskilu. Again, oisik min mitzvah, but the min mitzvah. The mishura pnimi depends. The ones that are right near could be menachem and pata, but chitzayim they will be chay. They will be chay. Mutal fun of him, shem mutal fun of loy. Mashma, the Torah is only that the mace is in front of you. Mashma, the mace is not in front of you. Then you be chay. Loy. Remember, there's your stira. Misha mace mutal fun of someone has the mace in front of him. Oichel b'baysak. Don't eat in front of the mace. Will not be covered. Go to another house. You don't be like you're laughing at him that he can't eat anymore, as we'll see on the next slide. The main loy by if he doesn't have another house, then eat in a friend's house. The main thing is to get away from in front of the mace. Then main loy beis chaveroi, never he has no friends. Oisem mechitza, let him make a mechitza between him and the mace. The main loy double last mechitza. If he doesn't have any material to make a mechitza, machs the panav, then turn your face away from the mace. Oichel, because again, do not eat in front of the mace. Because loy gloroish cheref I say. Masav. When you're eating, do not lie down and eat like they used to eat. We saw earlier, they would lie down and eat in that way. Don't eat meat. You're an einin, so don't eat meat, don't eat yayin, don't drink yayin. The einam levarich, do not make a far bracha. Rashi says, it's not necessary to make berachos hamaitzi. Says Tosfos, einam levarich, Pirish Rashi, the ein zakek levarich. That if you want to, you can, right? Miu, nonetheless, Miu, for Yushalmi Ka'amar, in Ratzo lahachmir, ain't shaymin lay. Yushalmi, it says, if you want to be machmir, ain't shaymin lay. That if you want to be machmir, that you don't listen to him. If you want to be machmir like a bracha, you don't do it. The kachmir is the place is lamer, ain't a mavarech, ain't a mishay levarech. He doesn't have rishus to go ahead and he argues on Rashi. Not that he has rishus, he cannot permit it to say mitzvah. Ve'ein mizamin, and he doesn't have to bench. Ve'ein mevorchen love. Amid Aleph, people do not have to be mitzi him the mitzi. You don't have to be mitzi. Ve'ein mizamin love. He can't be part of the simon. Again, he's an einin. Upata mikriyas shema, umenat tefillah, umenat tefillin, umikol mitzvah moras b'Torah. Ub'Shabbos, however, on Shabbos, meisiv, you can incline v'oichel and eat in the manner of the time. Vaser meat, v'shaisi yayin, drink wine, and mufarich. He makes the far bracha, mazmin, the nach bracha, benching, mufarchen love. People can be yaitz to him, mazmin love, can be part of the simon. The chayiv mikol mitzvah moras b'Torah. He's chayiv in all the mitzvahs in the Torah on Shabbos. Since he's chayiv beilu and he's chayiv b'kulan. Since he's chayiv in Kriya Shema and Chayim and Tefillah is Chayim and everything else. Says the Gemara, not Tefillah. Says the Gemara, Rabbi Yochanan, it might be Nayo didn't see the Tanakama Shimon Leil is Tash Shramita. Like the Tanakama, you put the Tash Mishlesh Shimon Leil, there would a din of Aina on the Shabbos of your Aninus. If you bury your dead, it can be Nayo. That's the difference between them. Tash Shramita, it can be Nayo. Ketani Mias in this long-winded brisa, what do we see? That Patam Kriya Shema Minat Tefillin, we call mitzvah Muris B'Torah, even when you're in another house. Because what do we say? We said Mishimit, you have to eat. So what do? Go to another house. And nonetheless, even in the other house, you pata. So you see that lav dafka in front of the meis you pata, that even shalai in front of, even not in front of the meis you be pata. So and for the Gemara, Amar Papa, Gemara, go ahead and apply that clause, the clause that you were you be pater. And that's only when you're in the same house. When you're in the same house and you be machsa panav eichel, you'll still be pater from Kriya Shema and tefillin. Hashem came once you would go to another house, even right then you would be chai. Rashi Amar and other parrots, no, even if you go to another house, you'll be pater, because kivan shemut lov l'koyvay, since the chi of b'achrayis, the responsibility of burying this dead is upon him, kimut l'fan of dami. It's like considered in front of him, even when he's in another house. Shneimar, where do you see shalai b'fan of is considered l'fan of? It says by the death of Sarah, by Yokam Avram me'al pnei Meisai, Avram got up, Pashas Tayis Sarah. It says he got up in front of him, and then it says, and I'll bury my mace in front of me. So he got up in front of him, and it says, and he's speaking to the Bnei Ches, and it says, it's not no fun of. And what do you see? That close mansion, but Allah of the whole time it's on him to go ahead and bury Kimuto fun of done. The diuk Mesay in Alam Shamalai. Dafka people, it's if his mace, one of again as we said, one that is mechuyev to one of his relatives, mother, father, sister, brother, child, wife, Avam Shamroy, to go ahead and watch the mace, loy, mashma yibichayev in mitzvahs. Mashma Mashama yibichayev. Right? The more of a Tanya, Mashama is the mace, anyone's watching a mace, Afa Pishain a mace, like, even though it's not his mace, meaning he's not mechayev in the sabo, Pata, be Kriya Shema, tefillin, and tefillin, we come to some words of Torah. You pata from every mitzvah, despite the fact it's not mace soy. Because Gemara Mishamroi, and for the Gemara, Mishamroi Af Pishain and Mesai Af Pishain and Mishamroi. The chiddush is that if he's watching it, even though it's not his mace, if it's mace, he's not watching him. Mesai Mishamroi in Amahalach Besak Forest Loi. Dafka if it's mace and Mishamroi, then he's put up. But going to the Besak Forest, not. But Tanya, Leihach Adam the Besak Forest to film the Raishai, the Sefer Torah B'Israya. The person should not go into Besak Forest, the cemetery, wearing his tefillin or carrying the Sefer Torah. The Koira and reading it. The Meister Cain, if he does do that, even Mishum Loig Laroish, someone who scoffs poor people, meaning in this case dead people. He's blasphemies his maker. By doing this, he's going ahead and he's being blasphemy at Kodesh Baruch Hu. The Ritva says, the Ritva says, when you go ahead and you when you go ahead and you mecharif. What is the reason why doing a mitzvah in front of a mace is an interesting ritva? The ritva says it's like if you are telling you're mechayir for Kodesh Baruch Hu. I'm saying that he says the pshat is that the lashon of the ritva that if you're going to go ahead and do this, you're kind of making a statement like, what do I have to get? What am I gaining from this? Like, what do I? Usually, I'm like maybe like a stickle ultimatum. Like, here I am doing this, and you're doing it for me, and I'm doing it for you. In other words, since you're dead, what am I gaining from this? Or chas v'shalom, Kadosh Baruch Hu, Kadosh Baruch Hu. Actually, I can't find the ritva, so bear with me. Okay, we'll see the ritva a little later. I brought the ritva in too early. We'll see it a little later. The bottom line is you have a sefer Torah, you have tzitzis, anything that's filled in. You're in the cemetery. You have what's like l'roish, you're like laughing at them, saying, you can't be Mekayim mitzvahs. That's like l'roish, but you can't be Mekayim mitzvahs. Right? Says so. L'chari, you see that lav dafka being in mishamroi, lav dafka meisoi, but even in the cemetery, a regular person mahalach is also pata. So the Hasam Toich Arba Amis. Over there, once the Chiv is only Mitoich Arba Amis. Who the Asa? Chutz Arba Amis Chayev. If you're 4 Amis away, then you will be permitted to wear your tefillin. The Amar Meis Toich is Dalet Amis, the Kriya Shema. Hacha Chutz Dalet Amis Nami Pata. By a person by Mishamroi or Mesoi, even Chutz Dalet Amis. So the difference between walking in the cemetery with tefillin on, or by a mace, even if it's Mesoi or Mishamroi, even outside Dalet Amis, the halacha of loig l'roish karaf by say would only be within Dalet Amis. Would only be within you're in Dalet Amis of the mace. Then you'll be chayv. It's very interesting chilik. I believe there's 2 types of loig l'roish. There's a loig l'roish that you can't do the mitzvahs, and there's a loig l'roish on the mace itself. Because there's in Daf Samach Aleph here in Sech Nida, the Gemara says that you can bury a mace tachrichin made out of shatnez. Question is, isn't a loig l'roish? After all, you're saying, look here, when you were alive, you weren't able to wear it, and now you're dead, you could wear it. That's what. And so Taisus is very Taisus the Kasha. How could you do that? Like we say that in Menachos, not Menachos, but tzitzis. But there's no hana. Therefore, it's not even, in other words, not loig l'roish, because if you're not having enough from the etzim, if by shatnez, in order to go ahead and be over, you have to have enough. When your mace obviously not having enough, so it's not loig l'roish because you won't be over the ifsa. That's the Rashbam's teretz. And the Rabbeinu Tam says, the dafka shayich loig l'roish b'tzitzis. It's dafka shayich loig l'roish b'tzitzis. Because it's equal to all the mitzvahs. So l'chayra, how do you reconcile Rabbeinu Tam with Gemara, where it says even wearing tefillin or a sefer Torah or reading is loig l'roish, right? So I think it's a double passion. There's 2 types. Over there, we're discussing the loig l'roish on the why of all the things we do. Why do we put tzitzis on a mace? Why do you put tzitzis on a mace? In other words, aren't you loig l'roish? You're telling the mace you can't do the mitzvah anymore. And therefore, says Rabbeinu Tam, since it's equal shekul l'kol mitzvahs, right? It would be loig l'roish not to have the tzitzis on the mace, and therefore you must put the tzitzis on the mace. Mashenkin over here, it's speaking that the loig l'roish it's coming from an external source, not from the mace itself. Look, you don't have tzitzis on. It's coming from, look, here you are dead, and here I am walking with tefillin or sefer Torah. That's a different loig l'roish. So Rabbeinu Tam is not sure at all. He's speaking about why of all the mitzvahs we go ahead and put on a mace, it's loig l'roish. No, it's not loig l'roish. It's shakal kol mitzvahs, and therefore it'll be loig l'roish not to put it on. But not that Rabbeinu Tam means it's not shaykh loig l'roish by tefillin or sefer Torah, because for Gemara not like that. So it's speaking 2 different loig l'roish. In the Nida and Samach Aleph, it's speaking about on the mace itself, and in Berachos Daf Yomi, it's speaking about you doing the mitzvah versus the mace. Okay, I think that'd be a good cut. Gufo, we said previously, Hamishamer is a mace. Someone's washing a mace. Afa pishein a mace. Put them a kriya shema. Minat tefillin. We call mitzvah muras b'Torah. Hayushnayim. Let's say the 2 people watching the mace. Zem mishama. This person watches. V'zeh kaira, and this person reads. Zem mishama, and this person watches. So in other words, you take turns. V'zeh kaira. And as if they're in a boat, you could leave it, both of them could leave it in the corner. They could daven in the other corner. They do not have to take turns watching. What's the difference? Even on a boat. Therefore, if you're on a boat and the chayish like for him, we're going to take a piece of the mace, so you need one watching and one davening. Masava Benasa is of the opinion, right, that loich hashini. Not chayish, therefore you both can go to another corner away from it where it will be like l'roish and daven. Or say kriya shema. Now they used to go ahead, they would bury their atzamais in very sulfuric ground, and the body would decompose. And after the body would decompose, they would take the atzamais, the bones, the skeleton to the family crypt. That's what they do. So let's say a person is in mahalik, the bones of one of his relatives. You should not put it in a bag of ar. The yitneim al gabi chamor and put it on the donkey. Biyakev alei and on top of them. They should not be minig bizayin. That would be a bizayin to sit on top of the bones. So they would go ahead. They would mafshalah chayra. Don't sit on them. Right. If you're worried about nachrim that you're going to lose the bones, and if they list them or robbers, muta, then it'll be permitted. So hey, what's going on? That not to go ahead and sit on them. It's going on the sefer. That what if it's a shas sakana, you're worried you could even be able to go ahead and sit on them. Let's see Taisus over here. If you put it to the back of the donkey, even though you're sitting in front of it, it'll be okay. Even if you want to ask the Sefer Torah, it'll be permitted by the Megillas. They had to be in Ksubim. Now, we do not get Sefer Torah. Why would be yasa? There should be no difference. Sefer Torah, the Nevi'im Ksubim, Sefer Torah. So Taisha doesn't like that diak. But the behead you amru Yishalmi, the sky you lay svarim. You could ride on it. Okay, so even in Sefer Torah. Next place this. But who adin lachayrav muta afilu b'loy listim. You'll be able to put the Sefer Torah behind you even without listim, and it would not be a problem. Says the Gemara, Amar Rachba, Amar Rabbi Yehuda, Kol haroya hameis ve'enam malveu. Anyone who sees a levaya and does not accompany the mace, even mishum loyig l'roish. Keref v'seil, he'll be oig l'roish keref v'seil. The lavo, if he goes ahead and he's malava him, mascharoi Amar Rasi, Allah v'kos l'boimer, malve Hashem choinim dal u'mechabdoi choinim evyaim. He lends a Kadosh Baruch Hu. It's like he lends to a Kadosh Baruch Hu by going ahead and doing choinim to the dal to the poor person. So this is where I saw the Ritva. What's the loig l'rosh over here? Why should I be going chesed by milava him? He can't do anything for me. He's dead. So this is loig l'rosh over here. Is what's the loig, like tit for tat? You're not going to help me. So why should I do something for you? And the Rasha is. He's going ahead, he blasphemes the Kadosh Baruch Hu. That a Kadosh Baruch Hu can't pay him back the schar. So the base can't pay him back the schar, the Kadosh Baruch Hu can't pay back the schar, so therefore it's Charef Isay of Kadosh Baruch Hu. Reb Chia, Reb Yosi have the shaklu v'azlu v'ekfaris. Reb Chia, Reb Yonason, Reb Chia, Reb Yonason. I said yes. Reb Chia, Reb Yonason have a shaklu v'azlu v'ekfaris. Have you come shadi to chilta Reb Yonason? His tzitzis were dragging on the ground. Amalei Reb Chia, Dalia, lift up your tzitzis. They shouldn't say boy etzleinu, but achsha mechar resanu. He's going to come tomorrow. I mean, he's eventually going to die. And mechar resanu, he's being mecharabas by going ahead and. So again, this is another the sugi of Laig L'Roish. By in the cemetery dragging your tzitzis, you're being like the people over there. So it says the Gemara, Amalei, Umi Yadakula Higher Drenison said to Reb Chia, did the Mason know what's going on in this world? They don't know anything, so why would they know if my tzitzis are dragging him? So Amalei, so Reb Chia said, in Karisa, if you read this pasuk twice, once Leishanisa, you didn't do it a second time. If you did it a second time, you didn't do it a third time. And if you did it a third time, then you didn't know Pshat in the first place. What does it mean that the Chayim know that they die? These are tzaddikim that even if they're dead, they're called living. Even if they're dead, they're called living. Shenemar, it says, B'niyahu ben Yoyada ben Ishchai, B'niyahu ben Yoyada Ishchai, Rav Poilim Kapsel. He did many things from Kapsel. Uhika as Shnei Ariel Moav. He hit the two commanders of Moav. Uyored Behika as Ari B'toich Abor B'yom Hasholag. He went down and he killed a lion in a pit on a snowy day. Some very ambiguous terms, which the Gemara will explain, and we'll see how it comes into play about that tzaddikim. Ben Ishchai. Why was B'nai called the son of a living man? To Kuli Alma B'nai Mason. Everyone's in the world of dead men. Why do we call him Ben Chai? There's Uriah that even the tzaddik, when Yo's father's death, is called alive. What does the rest of the pasuk say? Rav Poilim Kapsel is Shariba B'kibetz Poilim the Torah. What did he do? He went ahead and he increased people to learn Torah. He did not leave anyone like himself. He was the greatest person not in the Mikdash Rishon, not in the Mikdash Sheni. So Ariel Moav refers to the Beis HaMikdash, which is similar to an Ariel, which is a lion, and Moav that was made from David and Shlomo, who descended from Musa Moavia. That's the cryptic, the panemius of the pasuk. Who Yored v'hikes Ari b'toich habar b'yam sholeg Yikad Yami that Tovak Yisizi the Barda. He broke a piece of ice, the nachas for Tovel, and he used it as a mikvah. Yikad Yami the Tanas Sifra de Rav b'yumad Desva. He studied the Sifra de Rav on a winter day. So Rashi brings why did he go ahead and make a mikvah? Because of what? Because of Keri. That Keri can't learn Torah. But they know Kivega right away said that's been made Ezra. Ezra made that takana, so this is way before Ezra. So you see that people were knowing that even before Ezra. Or some people, there's a Gersa that while he was knowing that he was Toivel Tumas because he was Tomei Tumas Sheretz, not Tumas Keri. But Mason Mena Yoidim Uma, what does it mean that Mason don't know anything? These are the Rishoyim that even when they're alive, they're called dead. Shneimar Be'ata Chol Rasha Nasi Yisrael. You Yechol, you Rasha, you Prince of Yisrael. V'Bayisayim Mehacha. Al Pishnayim Eidim Ashleishem. You must Hames. So you can see he's dead already. These are Rishoyim, even though his lives is dead. Ella Hames Meichayu is alive. Ella Hames Meikar is considered dead. So now you have a whole Maisa between Rabbi and Yonasan, whether they know whether the dead people know what's going on. The Gemara agresses to go ahead and discuss what people know in this world, in the next world about this world. A very interesting Gemara. B'nei Rav Chia, Nafik l'Kriyaisa. B'nei Rav Chia, they went out to the boondocks where they had that estate. They wanted to go ahead and they went to work. So Akri Lahu Talmudaya, they were so busy working they forgot their learning and have become Mitzayla at Kure. They tried very hard to remember it. So Amlei Chav Chav once said, Yodavu and Bahitsara, do you think our father who's dead knows our pain that we forgot our learning? So Amalei Idaf, the other one said, Mino Yoda. How could he know? His sons, they get honor, and he won't know of it. Some the other said, he doesn't know. But it says, his flesh will be in pain, and his ruach will mourn for him. The worms that eat up the mace is like a needle to a live person, so you see they do know. So Amru, it's sorry the two yada, their own side they know. It's sorry the yada, it's sorry brothers they don't know. Hello, you're telling me they don't know what's going on in this world, but Tanya, following, Maisa b'chasedecha, there was a Maisa with a certain chassid. Anytime it says a certain chassid, it's usually Rabbi Yehuda ben Baba or Yehuda bar Eloi. So the question is, we're going to see in a second, Maisa b'chasedecha, shenasan dina la'ani be'erev Rosh Hashanah, b'shani b'tzuros. He had no money, and he was a very poor person. And he gave his last dina to a poor man on Erev Rosh Hashanah. And he came home and he had nothing. And his wife got very angry. And I guess she said, get out. So where do you go? He went to the cemetery. He heard two ruchos, they were speaking to each other. One said to the other, let's roam around the world. We should hear from behind the pargi where Kodesh Baruch Hu is. What's going to happen this year? So one ruach said to the other, listen, I'm not able to go. I'm buried in a mat of reeds. We'll see in a second what that means. You go. Whatever you hear, come and tell me. So Hochelish, she went. She mamish went around and heard what happened after Pargid. What's the news? So Amallah, Shamati Shekola Zareya Berevia Rishayna. Anyone who plants crops in the first Revia, the first planting season, Bored Milka Osa, the first rain is going to come and destroy it. It's going to come ahead, and the Bored's going to come and destroy it. So Halaku, this person, this chassid heard, the Zor B'Riya Shniya. He didn't plant by the first rain, he planted by the second rain. Shalkola and Kula Laka, everyone's crops who were planted in the first rain were destroyed. Shalola Laka, but his wasn't. And I guess he made some money. The Shana Cheretz next year he says, listen, this is great advice. This is like better than the farmer's almanac, So Halach Bolam Beisak Forest, and that Rosh Hashanah, when all the Parnasa for the year is felt, that's why you can get the good news on Erev Rosh Hashanah. So he went back. The Shama is San Shnei Ruchai, Shem Sabbath Zuvazu, he heard the Ruchai speaking again. Omra Chad L'Chavirasa. Oh, V'Noshe Ba'ilam, let's go roam in the world. V'Nishma Ma'achuri HaPargad, Ma Peronius Ba'ilam, we'll hear what's going on. So Amrullah, she said, Chavirasa, like Achamati, and I tell you, in Yichayel, I'm not able to go. Shni Kavur Matzela Shel Kanim, I was buried in Matzela Shel Kanim. And I can't go. You go. Umashata shamas, whatever you hear, come and tell me. She went, she came back, anyone who plants in the second planting, she doffin malchus, she doffin, the wind is going to come and blast it. Halach was our so this custard went and he planted in the first planting. Everyone's crops were blasted away. The shalom and nishtaf, and he's what? His wife said, wow, they might stack it. Last year, everyone's crops was destroyed. And he was one. They were all blasted by the wind. How do you know? So she went and told him. He went and told everything. That guess what? You got angry at me. I went to the cemetery, and what a great place to find out good, the future for planting. So they said it wasn't in a few days. A fight broke out between the wife of this chassid and the mother of that dead child that was buried in the Machzela Shel Kanim. Amrullah, the wife said to her, go look at your daughter. She kavur Machzela Shel Kanim. What a horrible thing. Tell her, look, how would she know that? L'shana acheres, halach v'lam bebeis hakfaris. The chassid went to the beis hakfaris and he lied down there. B'shamay sarucha shem sapes zuzu. He heard the ruchos. They were speaking with each other. Amrullah, chavaresi boy v'nash v'olam. Let's do it again. V'nishma chuya pargin ma panis b'loilam. Amrullah, the one who was the Machzela Shel Kanim, said to her, chaverti hanicheni, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Devorim shebeini leveincha kvar nishma min achayim. So you see that what they already heard, didn't hear. So in other words, whatever we said, the living people are listening to, so obviously they do know what's going on in the world. That's the raya. It's like, Alma Yoda, they know. Gemara says it's no raya. Maybe another person died and told them. So maybe another person died and told them. So this is a very, very interesting Indian, and we'll spend a little time on it. Like, what's going on over here? Now, we have Mashal brings that anytime the Gemara says chassid, it's either Rabbi Yehuda ben Baba or Rabbi Yehuda bar Eloi. Now, Pashtus, based upon the Gemara Dorim, that he was so poor, was Rabbi Yehuda bar Eloi. So how's it possible you're talking that he would go on Rosh Hashanah and lie down in a cemetery, right? Why? It's very hard to fair to say, right, that he would go lie in a cemetery. So it says the Marsha, that what? That is all in a chalaim. No, he was all in a chalaim. He really actually did not do this. He really lie down in the cemetery. The Marsha speaks out there are three components to what we call the soul. There's the nefesh, there's the neshama, and there's the ruach. The nefesh is the part that is attached to the guf. The neshama is the part that goes to shemayim. The ruach is the one that goes ahead and combines the two. So when a person dies, the nefesh remains by the grave, the neshama goes to shemayim, and the ruach that goes back and forth. So that explains why the lashon of ruach was used, because the ruach is the one that transverses the world, the one that can go around. So therefore, it says the lashon of ruchos over here. These are the ones going around. Now, what's the whole inyan of Machzela Shel Kanim? So that Slach, the Noda Yehuda, wrote a pirush on Berachos, says beautifully. It says they used to bury in, again, we spoke at that summit, in order for the neshama to be free, in order for the ruach to be free, to be able to go, the body has to decompose. There has to be once it's no connection to the body, then the ruach can leave. That's why they would bury in materials that would go ahead and decompose very quickly, such as linen, linen tachrichin. This girl, unfortunately, was so poor they had to bury her in Machzela Shel Kanim. The Kanim didn't allow her body to decompose that quickly. Therefore, she told her, "You're able to go because your body decomposed. I can't go yet because I'm in prison in this Machzela Shel Kanim." Very fascinating way to explain this Gemara. Fascinating way to explain this Gemara. Okay, another proof that the Mason know what's going on in this world. Tashma, the Seiri have a mafkid zusei gabe ushbezichte. Seiri, he went ahead and he gave some money to his landlady to watch. While he was away is the yeshiva, he came back, but she died already. So where was the money? So Azul Basra lachatza mace. So he went to her, he followed her to literally the Chatzar mace. He went to the cemetery, right? He went to the cemetery, and Amallah Zuza Hecha, where's my money? Wula said, where's my money? Amalei, Zil Shaklenu, go take it. Me Tute bit Sinur Didasha Biduch Plach. It's under the door as a pivot in such and such a place. That's where it is. It's hidden there. The Emel Ime, and tell my mother to shardali misrake v'gufsoy the chukla, to send me my comb and my makeup. There's a Gemara, I think, in Moed Cotton that says that the mason, the woman, even whether by the grave, they're putting on makeup. Very fascinating. Bahadi planisa the ashilamacha, so and so is dying and it's coming in tomorrow. She'll bring it to me. Alma yada. So obviously they know what's going on. Says Dilma Duma Kadam Nakras. This is, she knows who was going to die. She knows what's going on. Says maybe Duma, the Malach of who tells people that they're going to die. Maybe she announced it already, and that's how she knew. Tashma, another proof. Davud Shmuel Habikamafde Gabe Zuz the Yasme. So this Avud Shmuel appears throughout Shas. So it's interesting. I think his name was Abba. But why is he called Avud Shmuel? We call him the father of Shmuel. So the Sefer Ben Yehoyada brings from a tshuva of Rav Haigain that there was a Maisa where Shmuel's father was traveling, and a Nachris who knew the lashon of Oifis, who knew the lashon of the birds, right, was Taiveya him for Dvar Avera. This Nachris said to him, live with me. He asked, what's up? She told him that the Oifis said, tonight you'll conceive a child who will be the Gadol Mechachma, and therefore it's Mamish Neis Lasais. So hearing this, he decided to go back home, and he had Kfitz Saderech, and he lived with his wife. And this Abra, she got pregnant. And people were saying they didn't believe this Kfitz Saderech, and he was away, and she was pregnant. So they were questioning his lineage. So therefore, he's called Avu the Shmuel. You should know without a shadow of a doubt, this is Shmuel's father. Fascinating. This is Shmuel's father. You should know this is Shmuel's father without a shadow of a doubt. That's a truest of Haiga. Toshma, the Abba de Shmuel, have you come after they got Beizuz the Yasme? Shmuel's father, he was watching money of Yisayim. Kinoich nafshi lo have Shmuel gabe. When he died, Shmuel wasn't there that he can tell him where the money was. Have you could correlate bar ochelsus the Yasme? People, they suspected that that the father of Shmuel would ate up the money. Also, Shmuel went to the cemetery, and Amalu said, Be'ina Abba, I want Abba. So Amalei, Abba Tuvik, they said, there's many Abbas here. So Amalahu, Be'ina Abba bar Abba, I want Abba, the son of Abba. So Amalei, who Abba Rabba Nami Tuvik, it seems to be a common name. So Amalahu, Be'ina Abba bar Abba Abu the Shmuel, I want Abba, the son of Abba, the father Shmuel. So Amalei, they said to him, Salach the Masifta Dukia, he's in the Masifta the Shemayim. At the Hachi Chazal Levi the Yossi Abroi, Shmuel noticed that his friend Levi had also died. Right, he was also there. Amalei, Shmuel said, "Amai Yossi Abroi, why are you sitting outside? Why aren't you inside with all the other buchais? My time less locked. Why don't you go into the yeshiva?" So Amalei said, "Kol ki hanach shani slikas namasifta the Rav office. All the years you didn't go to hear shir from Rav office. The chashlite daite and you caused them to have klishas adas. We won't let you in. You have to wait." Me and Shmuel's father came. Shmuel said that his father was crying and he was laughing. So Amalei, he said, "My time of kabachas, why are you crying?" So Amalei, because soon you'll be coming here with me. So my time of kabachas, and then why are you laughing? So he said, "The chashichas b'hai al matuba. I see how chashiv you are in this world." So Amalei, if I'm so chashiv, now little Levi, get Levi into the base Knesset. Balino Levi, and guess what? They let Levi in. Amalei, Shmuel said to his father, "Susan, he asked me, hey, where's the money of the Yisraelim?" So Amalei, Yizil shaklinu ba'amsa derechaya. Go take it. There's a mill, a grinder, there's a stone, and Eloi tatoy, and it's there. However, there's 3 bags of money. Eloi tatoy be done. The upper money, the lower money is ours. Umitziyat yasmi, and the middle bag belongs to the Yisraelim. Amalei. So Shmuel said to his father, "My time of the hachi, why did you put the money in this way?" So Amalei, be done. If they go ahead to stick the hand in, the Vatal camp, they'll get the money first. And if the ground will go ahead and the moisture of the ground will destroy it, will be done. So therefore, the ones in the middle will go ahead and they'll be protected. So Alma Diyada, what do you see over here? They know exactly what's going on in the world. because the Raya Rashi says that they knew how chashiv Shmuel was in this world. It says, "The only shining Shmuel came in the chashiv kadmei umachas panamakoim." Since he was so chashiv, and since he was going to go ahead and die, so panamakim make room for him. So therefore, you see that that they don't know, but maybe they were machlis because of Shmuel's chashivas make room for him, and therefore he knew, but normally not. Rabbi also had charata saying that they don't know because he was schlepping his tzitzis in the basic forest. Then Rabbi Shmuel Nachmani Rabbi Yonasan, Minayin leMesim Shemsatim says, how do you know Mason? They talk to each other. Shnemar, Vayomer Hashem love, and Hashem said to him, Zois Aretz Hashem Nishpati Lav Mitzvah Yaakov Leimor, by Mal Leimor, Amar Kadosh Baruch Hu L'Moshe, Kadosh Baruch Hu L'Moshe, Leichem or Lehem LaAvram Mitzvah Yaakov. Go tell Avram Mitzvah Yaakov, Shur Shenishpati Lechem, the Shur that I swore to them, Kiyamti Levnechem, I was Mekayim, give the Eretz Yisrael to his children. Right? Amid Aleph. If they don't know what's going on in this world, what good would it do if Moshe would tell them? They wouldn't know anyway. Why do you have to say the Yada? They know. Why would you need Moshe to tell them? It says Mur no. They takadu no, but still you need Moshe to tell them. Go ahead and master the appreciation of Moshe, all that Moshe did for their descendants. Have a good day.